When it comes to the economics of recovery, there are only 4 letters of the alphabet you need to know. V, U, W and L.
And here they all are. And they're about where the economy goes once it hits rock bottom. A V recovery means the economy will bounce back really quickly and really strongly. A U means yes, we'll get a recovery, but it'll take a little bit longer and we'll be in the doldrums for a while. But the W is a real roller coaster ride. It means that once we start growing again, we fall into recession and then we recover. And the L is the real heartbreaker. It means that the economy stops falling, but it also doesn't grow. It just flatlines. And this means a really deep and prolonged recession. So what we have here really is the best case scenario is a V recovery and the worst case scenario is an L.
So this is really about V versus L. With all the talk of green shoots, a V recovery is what optimists think will happen. But are these green shoots blurring their vision?
Look, it's true. Historically, whenever there's been a really deep recession, it's been followed by a very strong recovery, V-style, and countries relied on their exports to pull them out of the downturn. It happened in America in the 1980s and in Japan in the 1990s. But this present recession is like no other. It's global. It's affecting us all, which means we can't really afford to buy each other's goods. There is one country, though, that might see a V recovery, and that's China. But even there, things aren't so cut and dry. A V can still become a W.
Because despite China's economy growing well again, thanks to a lot of government money, the economy might still slide into recession. Because the Chinese don't have a wide-ranging social welfare system. So its people tend to save most of their money in case of a rainy day. And if the Chinese are not buying their own goods, and if the world doesn't recover quickly and start buying Chinese goods, then China's economy might drop again before it recovers. So, with a V recovery on shaky ground, what about an L one? How possible is that?
Well, it might happen. That's because the banks are not yet sorted. And more crucially, the Americans have learned a tough lesson out of the crisis. They're saving their money, which means we can't really rely on them to spend all their dollars to get us out of trouble.